Hi, I'm OZ Hull. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me for this series as we explore the amazing power of the Behringer System 55 eurorack modular synthesizer. This is episode 1 in a series on patching techniques. Note that these tricks and tips will often apply to any modular system. Over the last 2 years, I've been producing some ambient soundscapes which are designed to help me relax as I'm going to sleep. The latest track that I produced used a single patch on the System 55. It was recorded in real time without multi-tracking. See a link to the video above. The patch which you're hearing in the background is designed as a sonic image of slow, deep breathing, the type of breathing during sleep. A slow LFO is used as a clock. The clock controls the tempo for the entire patch. I'm using 3 oscillators. 2 are simply low drones. The third VCO is going through a low-pass filter and a VCA. The high resonance on the filter is providing an almost wind-like sound. I'm not going to explain the entire patch. I'd like to focus on just a few techniques which help bring this patch to life. I'm going to switch off the delay so that we can clearly hear the impact of the patching techniques we're discussing. I'll add the delay back at the end of the video. The first patching technique is using an output mixer to combine all of the elements of the soundscape. The mixer could be placed either before or after the final VCA, as needed for the target sound. The 2 bass drone VCOs are simple triangle waveforms. There's no need to filter these VCOs because the waveforms have a limited harmonic content already. The slight detuning provides a slow undulation in the volume of the different harmonics. These 2 signals go directly into the output mixer. By the way, the final output mixer is a very rare feature in synths that are not modular. The Yamaha CS80 had a similar feature which allowed you to mix the filter output and a direct VCO sine wave output going into the VCA. The second patching technique involves the modulation of the filter cutoff frequency. First, I'll turn off this modulation. It's very common to modulate the filter cutoff with an LFO. Without that modulation, the sound remains static and boring, like what you're hearing. Adding the LFO can make the sound interesting, at least until our brains recognize the repetitive nature of the sound. We can break up this monotony by changing either the LFO frequency or the level of the LFO modulation to the filter. In this case, we're routing the LFO output through a VCA so that we can vary the level of the LFO modulation with a control voltage. Let's take a look at that. This is the LFO output. It's going into the VCA and then out of the VCA into the 992 filter mixer. And this is the control signal that's coming from the sample and hold. The sample and hold is coming from this unit. And I've got the sample and hold turned off because I've unplugged the clock. We're using a sample and hold output to randomly change the maximum level of the LFO modulation to the filter cutoff. We're clocking the sample and hold from the master clock so that the output remains constant throughout the entire breath cycle. We're using noise as the input to the sample and hold so that the result will be random. Let's enable the clock to the sample and hold. Since the sample and hold output is bipolar, positive and negative, we'll add a bias voltage to the VCA level. We do this with the fixed control voltage knob on the VCA set to the noon position. This will ensure that there will always be a minimum level of the LFO signal at the VCA output. You can hear the max cutoff level varying from cycle to cycle in a random way. Finally, we'll turn on the delay effect. This provides a sonic image of the transition to a dream state. I have some closing thoughts, but first I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell to turn on notifications. We only touched on a couple of techniques here, still I thought they were worth sharing. Perhaps the most important element in developing a patch from scratch is listening to the patch and modifying it until it sounds good. That's a large part of the fun. In developing this sleep patch, it was important to avoid any aspect of the sound that was annoying or otherwise disturbing. After all, the point was to prepare for a good night's sleep. Thanks for watching.